There's an Iranian being detained here in Chicago, Iranian student at Notre Dame.
This past week, I think I slept one night. The last few weeks have been incredibly horrific. I think it's so terrifying to actually fear for the lives of your family and so many people who you care for. I think right now tensions are especially high, and I think people are especially anxious, and there's sort of like a particular form of depression that I've seen in a lot of Iranians right now. But it is important to note that this has been ongoing, and we have moments like this, and we've been having moments like this over like the past 40 years and more. I think that it's just a constant sort of anxiety that's always in the back of your mind. I think particularly recently it started with the United States pulling out of the Iran deal, and then worsening sanctions that have already just been devastating the entire country. Coupled with just sort of also exacerbated crackdown by the Iranian regime of protesters and other Iranians trying to speak out against repression.
Data on all of this to see trends, and if there's like anything in common. Yeah, he's a student at Notre Dame, a PhD student.
Iranians in Iran, I think, particularly just feel a sense of hopelessness because the conversation in the United States is like, should we bomb Iran or should we not bomb Iran? And in Iran, it's like, should we kill these protesters or should we not kill these protesters? So it's still Iranian people at the end of the day between a rock and a hard place. So they're fighting and have to, in their own conversations, be almost masters of also global negotiation and global politics, understanding that they can oppose U.S. imperialism in one breath and at the same time challenge the Iranian state and the violence that is perpetuating in Iran as well.
Yeah, although I just also called the hotline.
Iran is so much more than its borders, and people are so much more than the borders as well.
There's been a lot of cases so far actually of Iranians across, like just nationally, being detained.
It's been really beautiful to see so many Iranians really step up in ways that I haven't seen before. I think historically, a lot of Iranian organizations have not been the best with intersectional work or understanding how the Iranian struggle in the United States is tied to anti-blackness, anti-Muslim racism, or other forms of violence that oftentimes Iranians like to disassociate with.
One thing that me and this other organizer are working on right now is developing a little bit more cohesive national infrastructure for rapid response legal.
Because it's not just Iranians, and I think that we've seen that with the Muslim ban as well, that it will start out with a few groups, but it's going to keep growing, and it's going to keep enveloping more and more communities of color under this.
Is that next week? Exactly. Ooh.
It's also just very important for non-Iranians to also be sort of waking up and understanding that it's important to be supporting the Iranian community right now because it might be your community next.